Our purpose in putting together these series of videos is to introduce Robert's Rules of Order in a systemized approach. That is, comparing and translating what we did as Indigenous people to what Major Roberts did when he wrote Robert's Rules of Order to guide us to have conversations that are safe, that are productive, and that model respect. The best example I had of modeling respect came from my grandson in the tribal way. Clarence Jackson was from a different clan, but he was raised by his grandparents. His grandfather was a member of my clan. So, in my clan way, his grandfather was my brother. That made Clarence my grandson. Clarence told the story of how his grandfather would write out his speeches before he gave them. Then he would practice them in front of his wife. His wife belonged to an opposite clan. So while we are eagle as thunderbirds, his wife was a raven from a different clan. By practicing the speech in front of her, she was able to critique it for any potential that it had to insult, slight, or offend the opposite clan. And Clarence's grandfather would change his speech to make sure that it was totally respectful. How did we ensure that we respected the in-laws? Our clan did that. So if the grandfather made an error or a mistake that offended, it was the clan duty and responsibility to correct him and to take care of the offense by paying for it, which might happen at a potlatch or what we call a ku'e. So Robert's rules can be used at meetings to ensure psychological safety, to ensure that people have respectful conversations, and that you have a focus on a purpose bigger than yourself. Encouraging respect, according to the rules, works through having a chairperson who guides every meeting. The chair recognizes someone to speak in an order that's guided by how the members stand to be recognized. No one can push themselves to the front of the line, but they can stand to be recognized, and the chair will recognize them in the order that they stand. There's no favoritism. Oftentimes, our ego make us think that we are the ones you should be listening to. But what Roberts wrote in is that we all are equal at the meeting. It doesn't matter your status. Let's look at another one and understand that as you seek the floor and you discuss and debate, you have a time limit. Roberts sets the time limit at 10 minutes. Your organic documents can increase or reduce that. And once you have spoken, you don't get a second chance until everyone else has spoken. As a part of being recognized and a part of the debate that occurs that you participate in, you are not allowed to refer to other people. So I'm sure all of you have been in conversations where people try to interrupt. That's not allowed. Where people try to degrade or disrespect your arguments, that's not allowed. You never speak to that individual member that you're serving with. You speak to the chair. If you ever do speak to that individual, you speak through the chair. And so you might say, through the chair, I would like to ask the member who made this particular statement if they could explain it a little bit further. And so by that, we are enforcing rules that require you to respect as you actually practice and learn how to achieve true respect. As I advise organizations to use Robert's rules, I try not to make it too rigid, which is not what Major Roberts intended. So, for example, if you have a small organization, 12 members or less, Robert speaks specifically to that. You can relax the rules. If you are used to having conversations that are respectful, that are productive, that accomplish all the things that need to be, do it. That is the ultimate goal of what I hope we can achieve with even larger organizations. As we develop a tradition of culture, respect, of circular observation of meetings, of planning, continually evaluating, and implementing, we will get to the point where I believe we can have meetings that are incredibly productive, that use our time to create great value and suppress our egos. So, what I want you to reflect on is for the next video, why do you want to learn Robert's rules? What do you understand of Robert's rules? How much of what you need to know can you learn in the remaining days in our videos? Because what I hope is at the end of all of this, you'll be able to accomplish 80 to 90% of all of the business. You need to think about how you are going to practice these skills as you reflect upon them.